Hey, Prime members, you can listen to Watch What Crappens ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the app today.
Hey, I want to talk to you about Audible. Audible lets you enjoy all your audio entertainment in one app. You'll always find the best of what you love or something new to discover.
Audible offers incredible selection of audiobooks across every genre, from bestsellers and new releases to celebrity memoirs, mysteries and thrillers, motivation, wellness, business. Look, my personal favorite is motivation, so I've always got my Audible app fired up.
Right now, I'm reading The Plot. Although by this reading, I should say I'm listening to it on Audible.
The Audible app makes it easy to listen anytime, anywhere, while traveling, working out, walking, doing chores. You decide.
Try Audible free for 30 days. Visit audible.com/crappens or text crappens to 500-500. That's audible.com/crappens or text crappens to 500-500.
Even the Rich is a podcast from Wondery that tells the jaw-dropping stories about the tumultuous lives of the world's elite. From the greatest family dynasties to pop culture superstars.
Listen to Even the Rich on Amazon Music or wherever you get your podcasts.
Watch what crappens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that crappens? Watch what crappens. Watch what crappens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that crappens?
Well, hello and welcome to Watch What Crappens, a podcast for all that crap we love to talk about on your bravs. I'm Ronnie. That's Ben over there. Hi, Ben.
Hi, how are you?
Good, babe. How you feeling today?
I'm getting a little bit better. Feeling a little bit better. I'm more hydrated. I'm feeling like I'm coming to life, which is good because I didn't want to be less than subpar to recap this latest episode of Top Chef. I wanted to be on my game. And you know what? My appetite is here. I feel like I can string together words into a pretty decent sentence now. So I think that things are looking up.
All right. Well, let's see how it goes. Everybody, welcome to the show. Today is Top Chef Day, which we're very excited about, okay? It's also Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip Day, which is crazy. It's a lot of stuff going on today. So go check that out if you haven't heard it. Thank you for being here. And I am so excited to see you guys in Toronto and Philadelphia because that's where we're going later this week. We're at the Royal Theatre in Toronto on the 21st with Real Housewives of New Jersey, and then we'll be in Philly on the 22nd, the very next night at the Fillmore with Pump Rules, little Vanderpump Rules. May will be in New York City at Town Hall. That's a huge show, followed by another huge one in Washington, D.C. at the Lincoln Theater. Wow. Get your tickets, people. Go get your tickets at watchwhatcrappens.com, okay? And then all the rest of our dates are there as well for the rest of our tour. And that's also links to Patreon. You get our bonuses and videos. Today is a video, I think. Hi, Ben.
Sure, why not? Hi.
How are you doing? It's so nice to see you. You look great.
Is my lighting good? Okay, good.
I'm not centered. Let me center myself.
Okay.
Oh, look at that. Now I'm centered.
There we go. We got to look like supermodels if we're talking about Padma Lakshmi, right?
Oh, yes. People only come here for looks. So, yes. So that's that, everybody. Thanks for being here. And let's get on with it. I mean, Top Chef, eh? Whoa,
and by the way, this is a rare instance where we're not only recapping Top Chef, but we're also recapping Last Chance Kitchen because you just couldn't stop watching Top Chef. Ronnie texted me and said, we're doing Last Chance Kitchen. And I was like, really? I mean, I love Last Chance Kitchen, but we don't recap it. But then I was like, oh, yeah.
But
we're
you see
seeing
why,
this all the way
right?
Through.
Yeah, they make you. They don't give you any fucking choice. And that's not fair. Like, that's like us being like, and the winner is, you have to subscribe to Patreon to find out. You can't do that, especially because not all the people in America get Last Chance Kitchen, okay? Sometimes some things, it doesn't just show up on your TV, okay? I'm speaking for the people. But it was good.
It was good. It was good, but it was also bad. And the upside is that we got more time with the guest judge, Max, who owns a book about picnics. And he is so over the top and excitable and animated. He's so thrilled to be there, clearly. And you could just see the entire time. He's like, oh, the way she put the mayonnaise on the bread. That's just a wonderful idea. Quiet, mister. Do we need to put you in a timeout, for crying out loud?
Mad Max in the sweaty dome over there. Be quiet, Max. Seriously. Max is very too into it, and I don't believe that he's a picnic lover. I know he has a picnic book, but I just don't see Max sitting on the ground, eating out of a basket. I just don't see it.
I do,
guys.
I do, because since this episode took place at Downton Abbey, I could totally see Max sitting at that picnic the day that the Crowleys found out that World War I broke out, and Edith was like about to have some triumphant moment. Remember? And they're like, "Guess what? There's war," and then like everything was ruined for her for like the 10th time.
That's
I can imagine sitting on a blanket.
Every good moment that Edith ever had on that show. By the way, Bueller is having a picnic behind me. He was eating his wiener. So that was fun. So thanks for giving everybody at home that view. Do not scratch the couch. Don't scratch the couch. Why are you doing that?
He is really he's really digging around back there, huh?
He is.
He's pawing around.
I hate when I get distracted and actually see him. Usually I just look at your face.
He's rummaging around. What's he looking for?
He's making a bed. Spot? Yeah, he's making a bed.
So funny.
Okay, I'm going to look back at your camera. So
look back
here we go. So Begonia's out. She's out. Still sad about it. So 10 chefs remain to compete in the ultimate culinary showdown. $250,000 and the title of Top Chef, World Star, all forever, universe, not just America, but everywhere.
So we start off with Gabri. He's very sad that Begonia's gone, as am I, because I think Begonia was maybe my favorite or second favorite. And although I think I love like everyone on this cast, but Gabri was saying, "Oh, my best friend is gone, and I was on the bottom with her, and I'm pretty much devastated." Although I feel like he's devastated literally every week by something that happens. It's like they took a different road to get to where they were supposed to go, and he wanted to take a picture on the first road, and he's like, "I didn't get to take a photo of that."
He's definitely
devastated.
He's definitely like that fun, like that really fun gay friend we all have that then just starts crying. You're like, "Wait a minute, you're the life of the party." He's like, "I cannot always be the life of the party. Sometimes I've got to cry too." Like last week, they're like, "Oh yeah, it's the holidays. We're all making holiday food. What's your memory?" And he's like, "I didn't get to feed my dad before he died," or whatever it was. It was like some horribly sad, like passed away father story. And they're like, "Okay, well, pep it up." Okay.
Yeah, he definitely posts sad Facebook statuses, I'm sure. I'm sure he's like so fun and sweet, but then he has very serious reviews of movies. Diane Ladd's work in The Rhinoceros Cometh was unlike anything I've ever seen. It is a tour de force. It is a movement. It is an experience. And if you do not see it, then your life will forever not be rich because of it. You're like,
I feel like he posts things that are like, "You think I didn't hear you? But I did." And then people are like, "What? Who are you talking to?
Vague
what happened?
posting.
Who hurt you?" Yeah, vague, sad posting. Like, right when you think you're going to always be with your best friend, you find out suddenly you're not. And they're like, "What? Who's your best friend?"
Yeah, I feel like he probably does a lot of, "Well, that just happened." And then he also does a lot of "about last night." And also, "maybe I did a thing."
Yeah. So he's crying, and Amar's like, hey, don't let the feelings get in your head, okay? Look, I'm an old guy. You're a young guy. What you need is to go to Morocco. That's what you need.
You still got a lot of years left in you to go to Morocco, okay? Because I went there once.
And he tells us, "I'm the old man here. I'm kind of rustic." And rustic, that's one way to put it.
Are you allowed to call yourself rustic? Is that a thing that we call humans rustic? I thought that's what we call breads and, decor.
Rustic is when you make dishes with bad knife skills and no composition. You know what I mean? That's rustic.
Right.
And I think that is very Amar. I've just never heard of a human call themselves rustic, Because to me that means like dirty.
To me, it just I think of it as just like a positive spin on something unkempt. Like it's not a mess. It's actually rustic. Because I almost feel like when people say, "Oh, this dish is rustic," what they're really saying is, this is food made by peasants, and yes, we are fancy people, but we can lower ourselves to the peasants by just reminding everyone that it's rustic. It's, look, we're visiting the peasants right now.
Well, in fine dining, that's definitely what it means when they say rustic. It's like, ew, food for poor people. Let's see how the other 99% eats. Delicious. And they go home and they're like, "Isn't that hilarious? Not one thing was shaped into a flower."
Wow, isn't it crazy? They put all the food onto one dish and we had to serve ourselves. How rustic.
Family style, what do you mean? Wealthy? Oh, I'm sorry. Large dishes, food on them.
I'm sorry. Has anyone written a piece about this bowl of rustic food in Time magazine? I don't think so.
So Amar
'Cause that was
says
the
that when
thing.
he turned
That was the thing, by the way.
What?
I don't know. Did you see that? That Padma was it? No, Ali Wong wrote. I think it was that Ali Wong wrote a big thing about Padma in Time magazine, or vice versa. But basically, it was like, my dear friend Ali Wong has these things to say about me in Time magazine. But I think actually it was Padma writing about Ali Wong. Either way,
I just
got
saw the
tagged in a lot
quotes
of
of
it.
like, the thing about Padma is her absolute sheer love for food. I met her one night on the New York streets of Manhattan, and she was loving a piece of cheese so much, and I said, that's my girl. And I was like, wow, Ali Wong, who's getting these articles written? It's
Yeah.
like, hey guys, what does Ali Wong really think of Padma? Can we get somebody on that, please? Great, thanks. Like, you're
yeah,
the
actually, it was
Times.
this thing. Ali Wong is in Time magazine as one of the 100 most influential people of 2023.
Wow.
Wow. And but I don't know. But so anyway, it has to do with Padma in some way. So we
Well,
got
good for
a lot-
her.
we got-
People are liking her show Beef that came
people
out.
say it's great.
Yeah.
Actually, they love it.
So, well, so your
But
people
enough
are
about
certainly
Gail's-
more excited than my people. My people thought it was good. Your people think it's great.
They thought it was
my
great.
My people
Well,
are
as much as-
rustic. Sorry, all my people are rustic over here.
As much as I'd love to keep talking about beef, we don't have time to discuss Gail's perfume.
Amar's basically telling us that when he turned 40, he went and told the whole staff of his kitchen, I don't have it in me anymore. But the chance to compete has made me feel 25 again. I was like, yep, you still seem like the same Amar. I think Amar's like me. Like, he hit 40 at like 13 and just stayed there.
Right. Yeah, well, now that I'm 40, I feel like I'm 25 again in those beautiful years before I went to Morocco for the first time. Because I went to Morocco. I don't know if you know that.
So Gabri is like sitting there in like the stew area and like a fuzzy blue blanket. And Sylvie is like, you look beautiful in this blanket. And he's like, I always look beautiful. And then they start laughing and they all cheers him for being happy Gabri again.
So now we're back in London. We're at the hotel. People are brushing their teeth. We get a lot of teeth brushing on Top Chef in general. So this was a moment for that. And then Sylvia is like talking to Charbel, how he's doing and everything. And he's saying how he's never been in the bottom before. And she's like, I was only in the bottom for one challenge, for the rice challenge. Because, potato girl don't do rice challenge well.
And this is where I noticed that Charbel, for some reason, becomes that guy that I guess he's probably just lurking around the hallways or something. And production's like, oh, you can shoot. Okay, you sit there. We need someone to intro this scene. So you sit there. Anyone else? Hey, I found a potato in the hallway. And Sylvie's like, oh, where? And they're like, okay, Sylvie, just go over there and talk to Charbel, would you? Okay, we need to intro a scene. Because he does it again later in the episode. They're like, we need somebody. Charbel's just standing there bored every time.
Ready to do the scenes. So then there's like a knock on the door. And Sylvia's like, who's that? So they open the door, and it's Padma. Hi, I came to see your rustic living accommodations. Wow.
She does give them like I cannot even believe I'm in the hotel where the contestants are staying. She's like, ha 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 ha. Yes, it's me. Good afternoon, Sylvia. And Charbel goes, that is a surprise. I'm like, was it? You think Sylvia just came into your room to make small talk? For the hell of it. And Padma's like, please get your fellow poor people, meet us downstairs. And guess what? You won't need our knives.
Or in the case of Sara, banjos. Hey, by the way, love your hotel room, but why did you put your bed in the living room part of it? Well, this is all, we have no living room. Oh, really? Sorry. Bye.
Love the way you decorate your foyer.
Nice, sweet.
So Sylvie gets so excited and she starts running to all the doors and she's like, potato, 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 potato. And Padma is boom walking down the hall where she's like, oh, hello, world of poor people. It's me, Padma Lakshmi. Watch me walk away. boom, chicka, boom, chick. I was like, damn, that is the sexiest walk down the hallway I've ever seen. Loved it.
She's so sexy. She's like, now everyone, don't come out of your hotel rooms all at once because we're going to use some of this footage on Taste the Nation. This week we'll be talking about hotel food and what poor people eat when they go on vacation.
Did you know there are people in America who sleep in foyers with beds inside them?
Do you know there's some hotels where they put all the furniture in the foyer and you can't even go into the living room suite part?
So everyone's like, what's going on? Oh my God, what's going on? And Sarah's like, no knives. It's fine. I got my tooth. So they all head down to the Hotel Palm Court. And it's Padma and Tom. Wow, it's me, Tom. Can you believe it? Wow, chefs. Are you surprised to see us here at this Motel 6? Smells poor in here. Tom, are you wearing ode to your son or what?
Well, Padma, we did just see you upstairs, so we're not that surprised to see you here. Quiet, okay? Be very surprised. I'm here, amongst the poors. Anyway, for today's quickfire challenge, someone has to find me a pad to stand on. Can you believe it? Look, my feet are touching bare ground. Terrible.
Also, I guess since Tom's been on this show for so long, he can get a pad too. Can we make it a couple of feet tall, though, so he just doesn't look so Tom Cruise-ish?
Today, we want you to partake in one of Great Britain's greatest traditions, not giving back antiquities.
So we see 15 minutes earlier, Dale and Begonia are currently battling it out for a spot in the competition. I'm like, oh, Dale's made it this far. Come on.
Today, you'll be doing afternoon tea, or as Gail calls it, all the time tea. She just loves her tea. Oh, and don't worry, you won't be cooking this quickfire challenge. Thank God. That's because it's already started 15 minutes earlier, which I guess you already said. Wow.
Also, I have to say, this Last Chance Kitchen is not fair at all, okay? This is the challenge. They have to make afternoon tea towers, okay, which is ridiculous. It has to have a sandwich, it has to have a scone, and it has to have a pastry. And they have like 45 minutes or some shit. How in the world? It takes me that, if I pre-cook for the week, like where you make all your ingredients and you just have to throw them together, it takes me 20 minutes just to put already cooked things in the same bowl. How do you do this? You cannot make a scone and a pastry and a sandwich. You can't.
This was cruel. This was like very reality TV. And what I loved, though, was that it's like, here's our challenge, competitive afternoon tea tower making, and then like Begonia and Handlebars get out of their BMW in like slow-mo as if they're like racing to the climax of Top Gun Maverick, like I'm like, you guys are making tea towers. Why is this so dramatic right now?
It's terrifying. I was scared the whole time watching them. And Sarah's like, this is totally up my alley. I'm able to judge anyone at any place at any time. You just let me know and I will judge the shit out of you. I will be right there.
Wow, look at her, a real Bob Balaban. Am I right? It's a crossover reference. Okay, well, guess what? There's going to be a blind tasting. Tom and I will get a vote, and collectively, all of your votes will equal -5 votes, and we're going to throw them out in what they call the bin. That's British for trash. Ha! Thinking that you'd have a say in this.
The winner will not only win a spot back on Top Chef, they'll win immunity, courtesy of BMW. Now, how are you guys feeling? And Ali's like, personally, I don't want anyone to be back. We're happy we're at 10. Yeah, but we can't get by with your personality the whole time. You know what I mean? Like, you can't carry, I'm sorry, Ali, but you cannot carry this show, sir. Okay?
Are you scared that you'll have to save some room in your foyer rooms? Sorry. So, Dale.
Sarah, I wish you could be in this competition so you can make one of your famous fingernail scones.
Sarah, have you been having trouble sleeping? Is it strange to adjust to a bed as opposed to the back of a train going across America?
So Begonia and Dale, we cut to them, and Dale's like, I don't know if I've ever wanted something more. I'm super competitive. I started doing marathons after Top Chef, and then we see him all like all muscular and working out and all bra. Like every picture is like bra. There's another picture.
Yeah, it's super bra.
Raw.
It's super broad. And he's like, yeah, like I qualified for world championships for like the short course this year. So I just love doing challenges. I was like, well, thanks for dropping that one, sir.
Yeah,
So-
thanks for dropping that in a pastry challenge, you fuck. Like, I don't want to eat anything he makes, okay? I don't want someone who looks like that making my pastry. I don't trust him.
No, I don't at all. So he's like, I'm gonna keep it simple and I'm gonna cook smart. So this is Dale's thing, is that he sort of games it. He's like malarkey. He's not about pushing it. He's just about like, what can I do that's very simple that I know I can succeed at? And like, it's not that mine will be the best, but just that other people will mess up more than me so I can stay in the competition.
Smart, though, because they have an hour to do all of this, and this is insane. So he's like, I'll do some muffins. Well, he does a bacon Gruyere and chive scone, an egg salad sandwich, which, I mean, guys, it takes 15 minutes just to boil the egg. Longer, like probably 17 minutes, because you got to get the water boiling. Mm-hmm. So that's like a 17-minute process. Then you got to peel the eggs. How are they doing this? I don't understand. I feel like this show cheats. This is the first time I've really felt like this show cheats.
Yeah, this is wild. And Begonia, she's like excited about it. She loves doing these kind of things. So she's going to do a crab and seafood sandwich, which I'm just realizing now is like the curse of this episode, the crab sandwich. And she's going to make a scone with compote of beetroot and tomato. And she's going to make an eclair with chocolate. And I was like, I don't feel like an eclair. I don't think this is going to be the smart move, doing an eclair right now.
An eclair, you're going to make a choux pastry right now.
You got to make a pastry and you got to fill it. And like, it's like eclairs the prettiest eclairs look kind of messy. Okay. So there's no way these are going to be pretty whatsoever.
Yeah. And they have to cook in their like own oven and be untouched. I mean, this is a lot. Okay. I was scared. Although, I love a choux. I love an edible choux. So
makes me want to say do.
Wow. Did you hear that on the radio? The free person's Hollywood Bowl, as we call it.
Wow. What a rustic song about things that a lot of this food doesn't have. Salt and pepper.
It's time for a commercial. It's time for a crappin'.
Scammers are best known for living the high life, globetrotting on private jets, dining at 5-star restaurants, and driving 6-figure sports cars. That is, until their house of cards collapses and they're forced to trade it all in for handcuffs and an orange jumpsuit. Scamfluencers is a podcast from Wondery, hosted by Sara Hagee and Sachi Cole, that tells the unbelievable true stories behind some of the world's most infamous scams, swindlers, and con artists. Scamfluencers has covered jaw-dropping scandals, from Ponzi schemes to a fake Saudi prince to a sexual predator masquerading as a wholesome yoga guru. These scammers cost their victims hundreds of millions of dollars and immeasurable emotional anguish. So how does our culture allow them to thrive? Each story on Scamfluencers will take you along the twists and turns, the impact on victims, and what's left when the facade falls away. Follow Scamfluencers wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen ad-free on the Amazon Music or Wondery app.
It's commercial. So Begonia's like still mad about getting kicked off. She's like, I made one mistake and I don't understand why I'm out even. Oh, it was one mistake. And that's Top Chef, Beggy. So then we go to tea time and the chefs, they play fancy music and the rustic chefs are pouring each other tea while Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairies plays. Wow, what a coincidence. This is the same song that plays while Gail tiptoes down to the freezer in the middle of the night, thinking no one can hear her slurp down Ben & Jerry's Chunky Monkey until 3 a.m.
Wow, God, I love the Sugar Plum Fairies. Too bad Gail ate them all. Strange. Really ruined Christmas this year.
They really shouldn't have put sugar on those fairies.
They should have called it Burnt Rubber Fairies, although I guess that probably wouldn't save them either. Bless her heart.
They should have called that Healthy Food Fairies. It would have been totally safe.
They should have called it Well Dressed Without Crazy Patterns Fairies. She would have stayed far away.
So, chefs, is there anyone you're hoping to see come back other than Santa Claus? Because let's face it, that's the only chance any of you are going to have a chance to get a decent outfit.
Let me guess. Scrooge McDuck? Yes, he really does have a vault with gold in it that you can swim in. Bless their hearts, they believed it.
And Nicole's like, my mom always says, if you don't have something nice to say, then you shouldn't say it. Wow, your mother seems like a really laughy bitch.
My mom used to say, if you don't have something nice to say, be richer.
My mom always said, if you don't have something nice to say it to Gail. My mother always said the same thing. Yeah. So kitchen, Begonia's doing her compote of beetroot. And there's 20 minutes. And she's like, now I have to do a sandwich. And then Dale's mixing his scone dough. And he's like, you don't want to overcook it because it's going to be dry. But you don't want to undercook it because then it'll be raw. Oh,
wow.
Thanks for the very basic. Yeah, thanks for the very basic lesson, Dale.
Wow. Hey, everyone. You're in for a really nice treat. Sarah's going to play the spoons, and we're all going to try to figure out what pop song she's playing. Go, Sarah.
Tom's like, well, you know what? I'm going to tell you. This challenge is tough. I hope it's not too tough. I didn't tell Sarah to bring her teeth down. Oh, well, they're going to have to make 36 individual pieces. And Buddha's like, if you keep it simple, you can do it. But if you don't keep it simple, you're going to be screwed in the end. Oh, by the way, something about Buddha. Last week I was saying, don't make a wife-based dish because you're going to lose like you lost the last time with that pasta. And a listener reminded me he actually won with his wife-based pasta last year. So I take it back. Couldn't remember if he won or lost. And guess what? I was wrong. That's it.
Wife-based pasta for the win. Wife-based pasta. Yes. So Begonia is like rushing. She's like crazy right now. And I'm getting very nervous for her because I love Begonia and she's so talented. And I can see she's being too artistic here, whereas Dale is just, doing his triathlon, bullshit. So she's falling behind. And then she's making these like really terrible looking eclairs. And Begonia's like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. 2 minutes, Begonia. 2 minutes until you fade away to obscurity, stupid person. Where's your article in Time magazine? Ha.
I really don't believe in self-coaching like that, where you're going and you're like, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it, you can. I don't believe in that because then when I don't do it, then I just never trust myself again. Like I'm mad at the coach and myself, And then I get mad at the positive person. And then whenever the positive person in me tries to tell me something, I'm like, shut the fuck up, you fucking positive idiot. You got us into trouble last time with your stupid wife-based pasta.
Well, that's like when people get eliminated on reality shows and they say things like, you know what, like, I may not have won, but at least I got to show my family that if you work hard enough, you can do anything. I'm like, no, you can't do anything.
Didn't.
You lost.
Yeah, you didn't do anything. You got fired off the show. So Begonia, at first I make it sound like she's just missing a plate, which I was like, thank God, because at least they can taste her stuff, because obviously I want her over stupid pale Dale. But nope, she couldn't get the eclairs on.
She falls over and all her plates break. And she's the plates are break. So now she has 30 seconds. Porcelain's everywhere. She's a disaster. And she's missing some items. So, of course, this show's so funny because they've got a million of these towers, but they always put the ones with the missing items. They always give them to the judges. So they come on out. And then Tom is he's like, I think something's missing. There's nothing there. Sort of like my son's resume. It's not a lot there. Just, I guess, gin and tonic. I guess that counts for some people. Nothing there.
So did everyone else get the middle plate? Because we didn't get a middle plate on this. And Padma goes, no one did. Jeez, Padma, God. And so Dale presents his sandwich, which is an egg salad sandwich. And Nicole's like, egg salad, salmon composition. That's good. That's a good sandwich. So slimy on slimy. That works.
Tower number 1. Wow. You know what? This scone is very tasty, but it's almost too fluffy. It tastes a little bit like a biscuit, which is, what I think Gail said when she ate her television.
There's no jam on top of some of them. He missed the topping. And Amar guesses correctly that this is Dale's. He's like, I know this is Dale because Dale is hungry for it. So then Begonia's, which no one knows, but hers is next. And Tom's like, I don't know what this is. I think it's crab. Is that what it is? Is it crab? And Padma goes, I thought it was tuna.
Is this crab or is it tuna? Does this need a spoon? Could someone show me how to eat this? I don't know how to eat it. I don't understand.
And Nicole's like, I think this is supposed to be an eclair. And Tom's like, well, the dish is not made properly, so it just collapsed. This is what happens when you don't treat eclairs well. They just collapse, like the economy would if everybody dropped out of school, like my goddamn son, who's worth nothing. So there you go.
So Begonia's really sad because she's like, well, Dad played it safe, but maybe I can survive another day. And it's like clear that she's not going to. So they come on out, and Padma's like, Dale and Begonia, we've all voted, and only one of you will be coming back to the competition. The vote is unanimous. You're both stupid. Sorry.
By the way, I'd like to thank Tom for collecting all the cans. Whoa, Sarah, don't get defensive. He didn't say he's collecting cans. He said collecting cards. I'm sorry about that. All right. Begonia, you're dumb. Leave, please.
Well, Begonia, it was really tough, but I'd love to see you here. But your time is done, so get out of our faces. And Begonia's like, well, 27 years cooking, and I feel really disappointed because I went too risky, and I trust too much myself. Bye. Enough of the soliloquy. No one cares. Get out of here. Go back to wherever it is you poor people come from.
And Dale cries. He's like, oh, I know I didn't win anything yet, but still, I've never been on this emotional on TV. Christ. And Padma goes, can I give you a hug? Aw, ew, that was gross. So, not only did you win a hug from me, you just won yourself immunity in the next immunity challenge. Let's hope I have it from whatever skanky viruses surely you're carrying around. Wow, that mustache really hurt my skin, Dale.
Wow, if you look closely at Dale's shoulder, you can see the scabies putting on a show. Lovely.
So now it's time to enjoy another British pastime, denying alms to the poor. In other words, Sarah, stay away from our alms. Help! Sarah won't coming for my alms.
Now that you've had a little taste of tea time, it's time to enjoy another British pastime. As the saying goes, life is no picnic, said not Ali Wong, so unfortunately I'm not going to credit the person who said it. But unless, of course, you're at one, surprise! It's going to be a picnic. I bet you didn't see that one coming.
For your elimination challenge, we want you to create a ready-to-serve picnic basket for our guests at High Poopy Castle. It's the famous home of the Crawleys in Downton Abbey, which is a show. It was on television. That was the first show to steal the burrito.
Hey, everyone except for Dale, please come up and draw knives. Dale, please go to a decontamination tent. Thank you.
Dale, please go into the corner and let Gail lick off all the bed bugs.
Dale, please draw a tissue for all your tears. Thank you.
So they're going to be in teams, right? Yeah, they have to make team picnic baskets. There's a team yellow and team blue. And so Dale gets to choose which team he's going to be on because he has immunity. So he picks blue. Mm-hmm. And blue is Buddha, Sarah, Charbel, and some other people.
Yeah. And Tom is like, chefs, picnics are usually casual and really informal, but we're headed to Highclere Castle, which is not a place where you get eclairs. Sorry, Gail. I don't know where she is, but I think she was concerned about that. So this can't be any.
It's funny because she's actually passed out in the back, high on eclairs that she picked up off the floor.
Well, renowned chefs like Danielle Ballou and Thomas Keller have heard of castles before, so it's pretty cool that we're going to one. So congratulations, everyone. We're going to a big building.
Congratulations. Chef Boyardee, you know what he loved? Picnics. So he's famous. All right, let's go. Oh, and don't forget, it has to have a sweet component. Okay? And Pat's like, make sure that things are really casual. You're going to shop at Fortnum & Mason, the official grocer of the Queen, Ali Wong herself.
Yeah, Ali and I go to Fortnum & Mason all the time because it's just basically meant for her. Anyway, have fun walking my literal footsteps in my supermarket.
You'll have the weight of Gail's cankles, 200 pounds. And then you'll get to go to do other food shopping at Whole Foods, where you'll have an additional 250 pounds. Wow, throw in one of Gail's weenuses. Am I right?
You load your supplies into your BMW X3s and X4s and head to the Top Chef kitchen, where you'll have 1.5 hours to prep and cook and pack up your baskets. And then you'll take all of your baskets and dump them on Sarah's head.
Tom goes, okay, well, once you get to the picnic grounds, there's no kitchen. So Your food should all hold well at room temperature. And Padma goes, room temperature, so excited.
Wow, I loved how that room temperature salmon worked out for us last week. Glad we're doing a whole challenge based off of it.
What a yummy room temperature egg salad sandwich you're serving me that was cooked the night before and left out. The fuck is this challenge?
Good luck, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow. I'm super excited for this challenge. Not.
So blue team is Sara, Charbel, Nicole, Victoire, Buddha, and Dale. And Buddha's like, listen, here's what we need to do. Stop thinking picnic and start thinking high-end canapes.
No, start thinking picnic. It's a picnic. I'm sorry. I was very upset, actually, by the menus of both these teams because, we need, where was the play on, a potato salad? Where was the play on,
I ain't doing picnics.
things.
I don't fucking know. My mom would throw a Snickers at my head and be like, congratulations. Here's some peanut butter crackers and a Snickers. Welcome to your picnic.
My real frame of reference really is just like a potato salad. I feel like a picnic is like a potato salad, and then everything else is just like sandwiches. It is kind of funny, ultimately, that that no one made a sandwich, and then they later on had a sandwich challenge because they just knew the chefs would be too chefy to actually resort to making sandwiches in their picnic baskets.
And so Sarah's like, well, I'm going to do a chilled broccolini salad. And Buddha's like, a salad? And she's like, well, not a real salad. It's with broccolini. And she tells us, I really like Buddha, but we're completely different in everything we do, okay? This is a conceptual challenge. I'm going to have to compromise, but I'm just telling you, if this was back home, he'd be under the crop dusters, all right? He'd be under the crop vegetables. What do they call them?
Crop. It was like crop weeds or crop.
Yeah. He'd be under the crop weeds.
Crop covers or something like that.
Crop dusters,
I love Buddha being shocked at the idea of making a salad for a picnic. So then Buddha's like, I will not be making a salad. I'm going to make a banoffee pie, but I'm going to be doing it a little different. It's a classic English dessert featuring bananas, whipped cream, and thick caramel sauce. So hear me out on this one. I'm going to shape this banana-flavored pie into a banana. I was like, there's the Buddha I know. The very literal presentation.
Yes. And he goes, I have a banana mold. And Dale's like, how many molds did you bring? Like, for fuck's sake, how many extra suitcases are we allowed to bring to Top Chef? My God.
Seriously. So now Tom, the German Tom, is saying, okay, we need to do a vegetarian and a seafood and a protein and whatever else my brother would probably do without me.
I'm going to do a cioppino kale salad or salad. That's what I'm going to do, a cioppino. And Amar's like, cioppino? I mean, I don't know. You do you, bro. Okay? And Amar decides he'll do dessert. So then Charbel is thinking a crudité, which sounds too simple for me, but it does sound picnicky.
Yes.
And Nicole's like, I'm going to do a take on tuna niçoise.
Yeah. She's going to do that, mainly because it's a lot of the letters in my name. So, and then Victoire's going to do a cannelloni with smoked fish. And Sarah's concerned that there's two fish or whatever. But either way, whatever. They all go to the store. They've got 40 pounds to shop with. They decide to split it up that way. And Dale, he tells us that he wants to make sure everyone's happy and that he's chipping in because guys, 13 years ago, he was a very different man. He was like a tyrant. And we see him on Top Chef Canada from 13 years ago being like, 3 souffles, 1 chocolate. We told you, 2 souffles. I'm like, oh God.
Oh my God, he was that chef. That is, of course he is, because now he's with this stupid handlebar mustache and overworking out and all this. Of course that's
selling a message that he's chill now when you know that this same chef is 100%, not only is it 100% in him still, it's just barely below the surface. We saw that a little bit on the challenge that he got eliminated with May. He was very condescending to her. And now it's of course he has this inside him.
He gets that evil glint in his eyes. And after he's screaming about souffle, someone goes, you don't have to freak out. And he goes, don't tell me how to act. I was like, oh, God, bring that one out, okay? Now that guy I could be a fan of. Bring him back. And if he's if I could talk to 20-year-old Dale, I'd say, chill out, Dale. I'd say shave, okay? And keep shaving until you're 40-something. Just keep shaving.
Yeah. So now they go to Fortnum and Putnam or whatever it's called. And it's like very fancy. There's like a doorman there, like, and everyone's in red tails. And they walk in and it's all like, it's like my dream store. You know, I just like walk in, there's all these floors I would just amble about in, and lots of fancy food, lots of caviar and foie gras and truffles. And Buddha's team is going to get all the luxe stuff.
Yeah. Pastries, candies, cheese, meat. I was just writing down everything I saw. I was like, wow, 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 wow. And
the
Nicole
checkout
goes
guy.
up to the meat and she's like, amazing. This is amazing. And the meat guy's like, me with meat. And she's like, both.
And then the checkout guy, that I just love the ridiculousness of this place, that the checkout guy is wearing like a red tails to check people. He's just like a teenager, like most checkout guys.
He's like a greasy teenager, you know, and he has to wear tails too. It's like kind of the Epcot Center where they're like, welcome to Fancy Flies. And then it's like the guy comes by with the broom and the thing that he's picking up barf on next to your table.
So, and then the big scandal is that German Tom spent $160 of the $200 they had budgeted for this fancy restaurant, or fancy supermarket. So there's like side eyes being given to him.
Yeah, because he wants to make like a really fancy seafood thing, so he's getting all the seafood, which costs all the money. But he's getting some bitterness built up against him now. And Sylvia needs to get chicken, and he's like, no, you're not getting it here. You can get it with the Whole Foods money.
Yeah. So Sylvia's talking about picnics, and she's like, in Poland, we have lots of nice forests and nice places to go for picnic. And so I'm going to make chicken roulade and then put it in the forest, and you have to find it. It'll be beautiful.
She's making something called Boric, and she's like, it'll look like muffin, but it is savory. But then you put ice cream on top and sprinkles and then pork. And then after you add the pork, you know, you fry it deep fry. And then you add some salt, hot dog, and then some chocolate ice cream. I'm like, what are you making? What the fuck,
I know,
dude?
it was bonkers. I did not know what was going on.
It's time for a commercial. It's time for a Crappens commercial.
So then Nicole's making her niçoise with salmon, because salmon will travel better than tuna. And, then more intrigue with Tom, because he's just getting tons of seafood. And he's like, well, seafood costs money. And, Ali made a vegetarian dish. So obviously he doesn't need 50 pounds. Okay. Because at the end of the day, I should be okay.
Yeah. And Gabri has to put away his fancy paper bags. He got some, because I guess they have to buy stuff to serve all of this too, because one team had really nice Tupperware stuff, and then one team had really busted, ugly Tupperware stuff. So I guess that had to be in their budget too.
I noticed that. That was the Queen's Tupperware.
So now they have to go make this stuff in an hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah, they go to the Top Chef kitchen, and they're all like running in there. And then Ali just like jumps over the counters. I did not understand the point of that, but it was like a very ostentatious thing to do. And then he like almost like lands on someone. It's like, oh, sorry. Like, stop, don't jump over the counters. Walk around, sir. So now they're all making them. Charbella's like making his crudités. Wonder if he'll be able to get them done in time. And he's saying that it's super simple, but it's going to show confidence, because, he doesn't think anyone else would dare do something so simple.
Yeah. And Ali is making momara, which is smoky, spicy dip. And I don't know. This is where everybody's like, here's what I'm making. Yeah. Here's what I'm making. So then Tom's doing a bunch of crazy stuff. He's like, well, I have to make, you would like to put some olive oil on the thing, but you don't want the olive oil to make it taste too olive oily. So I'm doing olive oil dust. So then tomorrow it will be olive oil. It's like, I don't want your olive oil dust. That sounds nasty. I don't want that.
I feel like this is not a great direction. And then Amara is saying that he's never served a picnic, and he's never been to a picnic, and he's never made a picnic, which is crazy. Can you be a chef and go that many years without ever having gone on a picnic?
And he's saying picnic, which is cute. Is that like a little way to say it now?
I don't know. I just assumed that was his accent.
I think Sylvia says something like, Amar, what is your experience with picnic? And he's like, I've never been to a picnic. I've never been invited to a picnic. I don't know, but it was cute, whatever. I'm going to call it picnic now. So Sylvia's like, oh, you are picnic virgin. Oh, picnic version. Did anybody hear this? Oh, God, I went golden potato.
So Marv's talking about how he's gonna make caramel flan because his mom would make it, I guess, and she was like the rock of the family, and she took care of the dad, like his dad, and then so it's just like personal flan, and then Victoire's making a foie gras mousse with cabbage.
Touching flan. That's some touching flan. It's the most touching flan I've
emotional
ever
flan.
eaten. Yeah.
Yeah. So then Sarah's like, I love a picnic. I mean, this dish tastes like a picnic in Spain. And it's like, you eat this salad, you want to lay down on your blanket and make love. Or a quilt if you're in Paducah, quilt city capital of the world. More like rustic stupid capital of the world. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, Paducah's the quilt capital of the world, so, well, at least quilts with sperm on them, bits of food. Used quilts. Paducah's the home of quilts that have been used in picnics that have been fucked on, so that's something.
Tell me, is it easy to tie your quilt up with all your earthly possessions inside and attach it to a stick? Just wondering.
So funny how in Paducah quilts can be things that you make love on, things you can eat food on, and roofs over your head all at the same time. Wow, Sarah.
Wow, it's like one of those foyer hotel rooms you guys have been sleeping in.
That's why they call it Quilt City, am I right? So then Tom comes, says, hey, chefs. So, hey, Nicole, what do you got there? Is that salmon? Whoa, that's salmon. You're going to make a salmon niçoise? Whoa, you're going to be able to cut that salmon? Whoa, yeah, salmon. That's a crazy ingredient to be using. I don't know if she's going to be able to deal. How are you going to deal with that salmon? Nicole, whoa, you're going to use salmon? Whoa, whoa, whoa,
I mean, it's like a niçoise salad, but with salmon instead of tuna. That's like serving curry as a condiment. You can't serve curry as a condiment. Who do you think you are? What do you think? That's next thing I know. Niçoise is going to become a mixologist. Doesn't even make sense. How does the salad become a mixologist? But somehow everything good turns into mixologist. Why? Why does it have to go that way?
Buddha's like, I'm going to make a banana pie. Tom's like, really? Let me guess. You bought a banana mold? He's like, got a banana mold. Yeah, I figured. Since Sylvie starts describing her dish, and she says it's a traditional English dessert with chicken in the middle. And Tom just...
Chicken. I make dessert with chicken.
Listen, I get
morning
that.
dessert.
I'm ignorant, right? I mean, I've only been to America. I'm the Sara of this show. Like, I've never been anywhere. I get it. So I'm not making fun of other cultures. It just, that one particularly sounds hilarious. It's a dessert with chicken in the middle. And even Tom is like, all right, well, you know what? You enjoy that. I'm going to try and make salmon niçoise make sense in my head. Can't wait to try your chicken meringue, lady.
So then Tom goes up to Tom and he's like, so, you making a tomato salad? He's like, yeah, I'm making a tomato salad. I'm using dehydrated tomato caviar, tomato vinaigrette, crab shrimp, caviar, tomato gelée. I'm also wearing a hat that is made in a tomato farm. It's very adorable. And also I'm going to dress as a tomato tomorrow for the unveiling of the picnic.
You have time for all that? He's like, yeah, I think I have time for it. So he tells us, well, you know, I think both teams are fine. It's going to come down to execution. Nicole's doing the saw with, hold on, you're going to have to edit that laugh out. Hold on. With salmon, just, you know, traditionally that has tuna and oil, okay? Did Tevye, you know, put his arms up in the air and look at a salmon and sing tradition? No, he was singing that to a tuna, okay? That's just how it is.
And like, Sylvie, I don't know. She's making a chicken roulade and almost making it with like a lemon icing. And I'm a little concerned that Gail may have gotten into her ear. I know, like, don't take every recommendation you hear, okay?
So, a lot of ambition, not a lot of time. So, he is, let's see. So Tom messes up. Tom the chef. God, this is very confusing having two Toms. Tom. Especially when we're mad at so many Toms right now on Bravo, you know? So, right. Tom is like, I wanted to do something complicated, and my first straining breaks. So I have to strain again, which is fine, because, you know, if something goes wrong, you do it again. Ah! And he kicks a box across the kitchen.
Yeah, he's like very, very upset. So then he gathers himself. He's like, "No, I will not be angry. I'm just going to focus, and I will not be deterred. And you know what? If the whole kitchen burns down, then I will say my brother did it."
Yeah. So then everybody starts packing up the stuff, and Nicole's like, guys, he was doubting my salmon. Why do they give us these challenges and then doubt the salmon?
I mean, you're making a niçoise with a salmon. I don't understand the logic. It's like being the child of a famous chef and decided to become a mixologist. Why would you do it? Why?
Fucking Tom. He just can't let the mixology go today. He's just behind the whole clock is just shaking with Tom's fury today. So Tom is making a lot of gelatinous things, but he's missing his tomato gel. And he's all bummed about it, thinking that's going to ruin it. Let me tell you what's going to ruin it. The gel squares of tomato tasting things. Okay? That doesn't look good.
Room temperature chopino. The fish... The fish that was made yesterday and has been room temperature by the time it arrives. Okay.
Yeah, and I really like Tom, but this one, no.
So then, so now it's all like last minute, putting things into the baskets, and Gabri's got some tostadas that are just rushing to get in the basket, and then they get it all in. So now we're at the hotel. Sarah's pumping, and Sarah's talking about how strange it is that like. Everything's pretty much done. The food's just sitting there. They just have to serve it. And then Nicole tells us the story about why she cares about winning Top Chef. It's because she's going through the adoption process, and she wants to. There's a child waiting for her in Vietnam, and she wants to be a mom, and so she just needs that like last installment for because it's an expensive process.
Oh my God. That's like so crazy to think that a child is waiting for you to win Top Chef. That's so much pressure on the child. Like there's a poor child out, like little orphan Annie is sitting out there just like, please don't fuck up this.
Please just put regular
picnic.
tuna in the niçoise. Just let's not reinvent the wheel.
I know. She's like, mama, future mama, tuna. So
I thought she was going home. I thought this was the kiss of death when she had her like emotional scene about adoption. I was like, okay, this is it for Nicole.
I think that saves them on these shows. I think when they have the emotional thing, it kind of saves them. Because like Gabri last week had the dad thing, that was really sad. His dad had passed away, and that was sad, and he got saved. I don't know that he should have been saved necessarily. And then you've got this, like I think it's when you don't have a story. Like, what did Begonia care about? Nothing. She's like, I fucking hate my family, so I don't see their asses on Christmas anyway. I just hang out the next day and have food with my friends that's who I choose to be with. And they're like, fuck you don't have a sad story, get out of here.
This is too emotionless.
Yeah, so you saw a PA like come by and just flip over her tray of eclairs. They're like
yeah. Sabotage it. Yeah. So now everyone's arriving at Highclere Castle, and Amar's like, I've never been to a castle before. I'm like, wow, a lot of firsts. Picnics, castles, very exciting for him. And all the judges are heading to tables, and Padma's like, wow, it's beautiful. And Gail's like, it's lovely. Beautiful. I said beautiful first, Gail. Come on. Be faster next time.
And Nicole's like, oh my God, I feel like I'm in Downton Abbey. You are. It's where they shot Downton Abbey. And Sarah's like, my mother's a huge fan. As I'm leaving Paducah, she said, go to Downton Abbey and wash this quilt. Don't just leave this quilt here, Sarah. It's disgusting. There's flies on it.
Wow. Look at Sarah unfurling a quilt in front of where Mrs. Padmore normally sits. Great.
I've had many wonderful picnics in my life, but never with a backdrop like this. Just kidding. I've been here like 10 times.
This is like pretty standard picnic for me and Ali Bong. Just saying. So now we meet the judges. Judge Max Halley, who has his thing is Max's picnic book. That's his book. And what's funny is that he looks like Lord Grantham. I love that they're like, well, we're doing a Downton Abbey challenge, so let's get someone who looks like the dad. All right, I guess this guy Max will do. He has a goofy children's book called Max's Picnic Basket, but it'll do. He looks like Lord Grantham. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. And he wouldn't put tuna in a niçoise salad.
First team is coming. Hello, chefs. Please place your baskets on the bench. Let's unpack the baskets and see what these stupid poor people put in them. So they start unpacking. And this is the team. I think this team should win automatically because they have the cute Tupperware.
Yeah, with like wooden tops. It's
Yeah.
really nice. Yeah. So first we have Ali's Mamara with the garden greens and walnuts. And then Max Halley is like, he's like, delicious, absolutely wonderful. The way he got all the flavors mixed in together. It's like a picnic in my mouth right now.
I mean, it's kind of big, but that's okay. I have a big mouth. Ha ha. And Tom.
That was self-deprecation. David Chang taught me that.
So Tom's like, well, cioppino salad with pickled salad, seafood, marmalade, caviar, chips, white tomato, glaze. What the fuck is this supposed to be? I'm not really sure what this is supposed to be. Anybody knows? It's like Jell-O. It's like Jell-O with tomatoes. So that's weird. And Max is like, this is lacking. It's lacking in acidity and seasoning. Bad boy. Bad boy. Very bad.
Does anyone have a tranquilizer gun? This poor guy is losing his mind over here.
So
then
Gabrielle serves smoked fish tostada with cucumber and compressed watermelon and sticky pesto. No,
And
spicy pesto.
And Padma's doing this thing of like, so is this a tostada? How is it? How does it work? Do I need a spoon? How do I pick up food?
Well, this really did need directions with pictures on it because he just gave them a bunch of little containers. And he's like, no, here's what you do. First, you take the tostada and then you put on the cucumber. And then you go over here and get the watermelon and you put that on. And then you can top it with some pesto. And then you kind of try to roll it up, but it's a tostada, so it breaks. So then it goes on your plate. So then get a fork. It's like, this is too much, babe. It's a picnic.
So do I use a spoon or not? I'm so confused.
Let's see. Sylvie's next, and she's like, I'm making this word, and it means water.
Borek.
What
Oh
is
yeah,
it? Borek?
Suborek. And she's like, I make with chicken, andouille, and pistachio, a lemon posset. And Padma goes, wait, this tastes like lemon curd. Hello, excuse me, poor person. I believe you accidentally put some lemon curd on my chicken. Could you send this back, please? Thanks.
And Gail goes, this is confounding. Wow, you've confused the garbage disposal. That's literally never happened. Congratulations. You get an honorary medal just for that, Zoe.
So then Amar does his raisin flan with pineapple, and Tom's like, oh, no bubbles. That's a good sign. Because, bad flan has bubbles. All right? It's like good, classic, traditional flan, not like Niswa's without tuna. Who would put Niswa's without tuna? That's like having bubbles in your flan.
I have to say, I make a lot of flan. I've been making flan for years and years, and I've never been afraid of bubbles with flan. Is that weird? Do you think I'm just a flan master, or is that just a Tom thing? Do you think Tom just had bubbles one day in his flan, and like it's tortured him ever since, and now he's afraid to ever get bubbles in flan again? Because I don't know. It's
Well,
not a big deal.
congratulations, Ronnie. Congratulations on your rustic flan with bubbles in it.
Yeah, look at that. Huh. Rustic person can make flan better than you. Huh. So Tom's like, whoa, your mama taught you well. Huh? And Padma's like, quite an interesting menu. Bubbleless flan. I'm not sure how I feel about that. And Tom's like, well, I'm nervous because I always feel like I'm not good enough. And then Tom did the usual reaction, which is, oh, thank God you have a bigger brother to take care of you. Am I right?
Well, you know what? There are two things out of this whole menu that really work in the context of a picnic. The first and the last. I completely agree with you, picnic master. That's wonderful. Now, who are you? Why are you here?
Flan keeps well. It's brilliant. And then a guy named Roger's like, yeah, the others were just quite difficult, and some just didn't work at all. Tom's like, well, there's usually a pronounced orange flavor to cioppino, and this time it was just, Jell-O. It's like, I love my Jell-O pudding pop or whatever. It was bad. I shouldn't have brought up Bill Cosby right now. That's how bad this cioppino was. That's how bad it evoked Bill Cosby. So there you go.
Wow, Tom, how awkward for you and for this townsperson who's here talking about picnics. Anyway, Gail, what do you have to say? Well, it was weighted down. It was so weighted down that I lost the seafood completely. Oh, yeah. Does anyone want to take a stab at this? I feel like we got a lot to work with. Anyone and want to go with it? No?
That's like when you rode the bus home from Red Lobster and it was so weighted down that you left the seafood on it.
Wow. I also found like it was just too wet, like Gail after eating a burrito.
Like Gail when she sees a few sriracha bottles open and thinks that there's free sprinklers in the neighborhood.
Like Gail when she takes a sledgehammer to a soda fountain and jumps around in it like it's a fire hydrant in the summer.
It's not
Too
an
wet.
outdoor shower, Gail. How many times have I told you?
Gail, you're not in a coming-of-age movie. Stop it.
So then Tom's like, and Sylvia's whatever the fuck that was. And a lady is like, yeah, that was quite the amalgamation. Confused me a bit. And Stu's like, the tostada with fish. Oh, that tostada didn't do well, did it?
And Gail says, well, there was no way to pick it up and eat it without it crumbling apart. Oh, yeah. Just like every time you try to eat plaster of Paris, Gail.
And Tom's like, yeah, the yellow team overcomplicated things, and that did not make it better. And Tom pops some champagne, and Padman goes, oh, thank God.
Wow, we finally have some not flanny, also known as bubbly.
So now it's the blue team's turn. Hello, blue team. Were you nervous about your food traveling from the kitchen to the someplace else to the BMW 3s and 4s? Into the picnic basket, into here. This is where Downton Abbey was filmed, starring Ali Wong.
Hey, is anyone? Papa, I don't think that she was in it. Quiet, Tom. She's famous. She was in everything. Well, are you guys nervous about your food traveling? Does anyone want to cry? We haven't really identified any reliable criers this season, so if anyone wants to just step forward and just let some tears go down their cheeks, have at it. I'm ready for you.
I would suggest Sarah, because Sarah, your food has traveled actually more than you ever have. So that's something.
Oh, look at Sarah dabbing her eyes with that quilt.
So Dale did a classic deviled duck egg with sturgeon caviar, and Victoire did a foie gras cabbage roll thing. And
Padman's
Padman goes, what? What is this? Are you supposed to pick this up? Are you supposed to cut it? What am I supposed to do with a little rolled thing? I'm so confused.
How does it work? Do I need a spoon? Which side of the spoon?
Fucking Padma. What do you fucking think you do with it? You pick it up. It's a roll. Okay.
But we're at Downton Abbey. So now Charbel has his crudités and his dips. Like he's got hummus and baba ganoush and truffle. And Padma's like, wow, I like your little crudité bed. It reminds me of the hotel room I surprised you in earlier today. Wow, what is it like to go to sleep on celery?
I love your crudité bed. Gail has a Snickers bed. So.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Nicole.
Oh, here comes Nicole.
Oh,
with
yeah,
some manner
here
of,
she comes.
Yeah,
Here comes
some manner
Nicole with a gaping, wide-mouthed, open smile, which I don't really understand. Do you ever get flies in your mouth, Nicole?
Hey, Nicole, are you serving us a very standard niçoise salad, which obviously must come with tuna in it? And she serves her salmon niçoise salad, and Max is like, "Is the vinaigrette for this niçoise? Is that what that's?" No, stupid. You're supposed to pour it on your head. I mean, for crying out loud, I don't understand how to use a spoon, but at least I know what to do with the vinaigrette. It's a salad.
Yeah, I was waiting for the cheese. And then Buddha serves his Bonifay banana thing. And Max is like, what is this? This looks like a banana. Hold on. It tastes like a banana as well. What in the gumption's going on here? This is insane.
Wow, well, I'm just like very happy that they use all these fancy ingredients despite being on a tough budget. Yeah, no, normally when you go to dinner at Gail's house, it's pretty much just like a salad composed of all those impulse buy things you get at the checkout line of Ross. So crunchy and boring.
Sarah, what was your biggest challenge? And she's like, budget. I'm sorry, that question was meant for Gail's wardrobe, but you answered correctly, Sarah. Thank you.
So the judges are talking, and Tom's like, well, this team, for the blue team, it's all easier to eat, Yeah, that's what Gail says about construction paper. Just goes right in the mouth.
And someone says the salmon niçoise was great, and Tom's like, well, I didn't want to like it because I don't, you know what, salmon, niçoise, salmon. Wait, hold on, say niçoise. Now say salmon. So, I can't even say it. It doesn't go together. But I liked it anyway. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. Pretty good.
Well, that Chef Sarah's charred broccoli was quite tasty, but maybe slightly too big. Well, that didn't stop Gail. I mean, that broccoli, you could have built a broccoli house and Gail would have eaten it with one bite.
And then the rich and sweet but very thoughtful dessert. And someone was like, oh, great to look at, not great to eat. Tom's like, yeah, it was too sweet. It was too sweet. I mean, that was like if you put tuna in a niçoise. It would just be ridiculous. God, I'm all about salmon and niçoise now. I vote for salmon and niçoise. That's it.
Well, we all agree that was probably one of the worst desserts we ever ate in our lives. But I'm glad, Gail, you found that it was a beautifully thoughtful dessert. Thanks for being on the show, Gail. Really helping a lot.
Seems we have a clear winning team here, and it's not Gail's glam. Let's bring him back out here.
So, anyway. Hi. So, judge's table. So, some dishes stood up better than others, but we did have an overall favorite team, and our favorite picnic meal belonged to Angela Merkel. Get on out here, Angela. Great work.
Team, just please go stand in the sun and slowly rot like all of the food we ate today. And Buddha's like, we're so happy. We wanted to focus on luxury. And Tom's like, you did a solid job. It wasn't overchefed at all. And that's something coming from the guy who brought a banana mold in a suitcase. So,
yeah, and by not overchefed at all, I mean it was completely overchefed. She put salmon in a niçoise. So, so then Tom is talking about like, Pat. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. I'm talking now. Dale, you're back in the game with immunity, but you still gave us something that felt perfect for the occasion. A poncho. Thanks so much. That food just goes flying out of Gail's mouth sometime.
So they loved Victoires because Gail could pick it up, but it also had foie gras and M&M's the way she ate it. Telling you, you can't add your own ingredients to something and then judge it in the comments, Gail. Tom's like, well, it ate well. Like Gail. Okay, that's enough. Can we just get through judging? I would have just blanched the cabbage more. That's it. You know what? It needed more blanch. Like the Golden Palace. It was like the Golden Palace. Needs more blanch. That's my note.
I feel the same way too, and I was so confused on how to eat that. I mean, I'm still thinking back at that tiny rolled piece of cabbage and thinking, do I need chopsticks? Do I need a forklift? How does that get into my mouth?
One of the greatest mysteries of the season. How do I pick this up?
Nicole, I really loved your niçoise salad. I loved how crispy the beans were. I loved the vinaigrette. And I loved how angry Tom got about the fact that there was salmon in a niçoise. There's salmon in a niçoise!
Sara, your broccolini salad had a charcuterie flavor to it, which I loved. Yeah, Buddha, I loved your dessert too. And the guy's like, to create that in 90 minutes, I'm going to have to ask you how you did that in another day, because that was a banana tasting dessert that was shaped like, hold it, banana. Sick. It was sick, as the kids would say. It was absolutely dope.
Well, I would have loved to have had that banana dessert, but no one told me how I'm supposed to eat it. I just said.
Tom's like, well, I was on the sweet side, but nice job all around, even though I totally dissed you behind your back right now and acted like you were going to lose this whole thing because I hate bananas and thought yours was too sweet. So, you know, I'm a fakey. I'm a fakey-bakey, okay? Wake and fake. That's my motto.
Well, today, the winner gave us a really bright and flavorful dish. It was seasoned well, and it made Tom go crazy. Nicole, Canada smile. Wow, Nicole, not only did you have our favorite dish on this team, but you just won yourself $10,000 from our friends at BMW, the Ritz cracker of cars.
As a matter of fact, you got so much money, we're actually awarding you a baby. Please bring out the baby. The baby is driving towards you in a BM. Do not hit Nicole, baby.
Oh, unfortunately, your baby's going to have to hide out in town because your father's ashamed of it. Wow, this really is like being in Downton Abbey.
So,
congratulations, a farmer's raising your baby and no one will ever know.
I love that there's just so many parallels. You know, in the Bible, there was a baby that everybody was trying to kill. I think it was like King something.
Moses?
Was it? I think it was.
Well,
it's in
yeah,
your.
Moses.
It's in your all's. It's in your all's book. It's in the Old
Yeah, they
Testament.
put Moses. I mean, they literally
put Moses
in
a basket.
river.
They put him in a
river.
basket. Yes, and they
At
floated
room
him
temperature.
down the river. And then when people found him, they found Moses in a picnic basket. And now Nicole won this picnic challenge and is getting a baby. You guys, it's biblical. This one is biblical. Okay.
Wow. So exciting. Next, we're going to have to endure the 10 plagues, aka gales falling from the sky. Gail loves the 10 plagues. I mean, when those frogs come tumbling out, she just sets up a bag and just says, "Here we come for dinner."
I've never seen so many frogs caught with somebody's mouth. It was amazing.
It's like bobbing for apples, but with frogs and jumping instead.
So now, yellow team, come out here. You had our least favorite dishes of the day. Your dishes were about as appetizing as that story that Sara told about cum quilts in her town, Paducah.
Okay, trick question. How was yesterday and today for you? Let's start with Sylvia. Sylvia, what was today like? Did you wake up today and say, "Oh my God, I'm serving the judges chicken with lemon curd on top"? Or did you just think it was a smart idea still?
And Sylvia, she acts all like sweet, but she does not give a fuck. Like, she goes straight for Tom's throat. She's like, we organized all together the budget, and then some people took more money than other. I used the cheaper ingredients to help my friends. I was like, oh, Snapple.
I love that. Although I don't think that still would have affected anything if she had made her lemon curd out of nicer ingredients.
I know, right? She's like, I could have gotten more expensive chicken to put in the middle of a lemon curd muffin. No.
Who spent the most money? And Tom's like, I did. You did. Tom, you did. He spent the most money. He's rich. He might even be famous. Guys, let's make him a judge with us.
Guys, I have a question. Can you tell us who took the most money from Salman Rushdie? Guilty. Now, who took the most from your team? Tom, shame on you.
So Padma says, and were there any ingredients that none of you could get because of this budget? And Tom's like, no, we got everything that we wanted.
You
and
be quiet. I'm not talking to you, Tom with hair. Anybody else want to complain? Sylvia, you have a face on you. Say it.
No, we didn't. We didn't get what we wanted. And Gail's like, Sylvia, is that true? Gail, harder. Sylvia, did you mean to be so quiet in this moment? Rat him out. Go for it, Sylvia. We're all going to watch.
Well, Tom said he needed the seafood, so we let him go first with the seafood. So what seafood did you buy there, mister? Huh? What kind of seafood was that? He's like, shrimp, crab, and caviar too. And Padma was like, well, I thought there were some beautiful highs. I mean, Ali, your mamara was stunning, perfectly seasoned, and the freshness of that lettuce wrap. I mean, it was just laid out in such a way that I knew what to do. Pick up the lettuce and put it in my mouth.
I really appreciated the instructions you included with it.
Thank you for not making it a tidy roll like stupid Victoire.
And then they really liked Amar's flan, and Tom was like, yeah, it was a great version of flan. I mean, it was cooked at the right temperature, and some chefs would turn up the heat. Well, then when you turn up the heat, you get bubbles on the outside.
Well,
and that's a fatal flaw of flan. You can't have bubbles in your flan. That's like having
what's a fatal flan?
in your niswas.
Who put salmon in their flan? But it worked. It worked. So Gail's like,
let the bubbles out. Woof, woof, woof.
Gabri, what did you do to that fish piece? Because I got a little piece, but the construction didn't really work, right? Would you agree? Because the tostada was delicious, but then it was thin, and then when you put thick fish on top, it really isn't easy. And Tom's like, not your best work. And you know what? It really didn't pack the flavor. Well, Gail did. She actually wore pancakes to breakfast this morning.
Have you ever seen a pancake culotte before? Bizarre. Sylvia, I didn't really understand your whole dish. I mean, once I put the lemon sauce on it, I almost thought I was having dessert. Like, did it even need a spoon? How did I eat it? I ate nothing today, guys.
This was so not Boric. This didn't remind me of Boric at all. Stupid.
Listen, I know Borek because my dear friend Ali Wong and I often go to the Borek factory. Yeah, it's a popular place that only we're invited to, and so we know our Boreks.
I love telling Polish people they don't know what Borek means. Stupid Polish person. And Sylvia's like, well, actually, Borek means water. So that is why it has this sauce. And Gail's like, oh, well, I appreciate you clarifying the reason that there was a sauce. Unfortunately, the sauce was bland. So I'm going to be calling this board ek. Because that's what oh, look at Gail. Wow, Gail.
Wow, congratulations. You turned Borek into board yuck. Congratulations.
Wow, Gail. You're really getting good at this after 20 seasons.
So Tom's like, it was like a sugar sweet lemon right at the top of a muffin, and the muffin was dry. It wasn't a good dish. I'm sorry to say it. It's like the time my son suddenly decided he wanted to cook me eggs after spending years as a mixologist instead of learning under me. It wasn't a good dish. Could have been better.
Tom, the money you spent on the caviar, you could have thrown it in the trash. You couldn't even taste it. And I hear from your teammates that you spent too much money, so you didn't just waste your money, you wasted their money too. And that's unforgivable. Can I get a tss? Thank you.
Thank you.
So Graham tells them that they should have just gone simple, and they would have all been off better. And Padma's like, Sylvia and Tom, you had our least favorite dishes, and one of you will be going home to heaven after we shoot you when you lose. Just not yet. And Nicole's like, ugh.
Before you leave, I'm going to need one of you to take these boxes to my car. I can't hold them. So Padma goes, come with me. And Sylvia is like, it is scary to follow Padma because yesterday she knocked on my door and said, have you ever tried rice? And I said, I'm potato girl. And she said, today you eat rice. So she's scary.
And Tom's like, well, I'm glad it's me in the bottom because I feel very disappointed with my dish. So I will do whatever I need to do. I can take it like a man. So we see 2 tents set up. And to find out the end, we have to go watch Last Chance Kitchen.
Yes, so we arrive in Last Chance Kitchen, and Tom is like, for the first time ever on Top Chef, 2 chefs on the brink of elimination are going to battle out on a final cook-off to see who stays in the competition. I'm like, that's literally happened so many times, but that's fine. So
the 2 of you will be facing off head-to-head right now. This will determine who's staying and who's actually losing their head. And Tom's like, for your cook-off, we wanted to give you one more chance with a classic picnic item.
All of you were too stupid to even think about presenting to us today. I mean, it's so obvious. A sandwich, for crying out loud.
No, Gail, it's not a baby. Put the baby back in the picnic basket and hand that over to Nicole. That was her prize. Other baskets, people, other baskets.
Chefs, I know it's been a long day being around so many famous people, but we wanted to give you one last chance to save yourself. The 2 of you will be facing off head-to-head right now. Each one of you has to find a beautiful gift card for dress. I don't know what I'm saying. I can't do it anymore. Last Chance Kitchen's a weird place for me.
So Max is like, let me explain to you what a sandwich is. When Sir Montague, the Earl of Sandwich, was desperate not to miss any of his card game, he asked for beef between 2 pieces of bread, and the sandwich was born.
And while he's saying this, the music is going. I'm like, you have a lovely old British man describing the history of the sandwich. Why is this music so intense right now?
I know. Why is it like horror movie music? And Padma's like, yes, you have to have meat between 2 pieces of bread. Basically, we call that a Gail nap. Now the rest is up to you.
Do you understand sandwiches? Do we need to start from the top again? Chefs, you look a little bit lost. Okay, please welcome special guest Julie Montague from Ladies of London to talk about sandwiches. Get over here, Julie.
She's like in a headstand. Okay, well, that idiot won't get off of her head, so we're just going to move on through this, okay? Sylvia's like, my strategy is to make something people never get in sandwich. I was like, please, not a lemon meringue pie, please.
I know. She's like, my strategy is a sandwich that is all soft texture, on soft texture, on soft texture. So she is grabbing champagne and caviar and andouille sausage and stuff. And Padma turns to Max and she's like, okay, well, I guess I better talk to the townsperson. Hi, simpleton. What do you think makes a good sandwich? He goes, well, I think a liberal attitude to mayonnaise. Okay, well, Gail's right over there if you'd like to continue this thought.
Oh, God, Gail's literally got a swimming pool at home full of that stuff. Gail, found you a friend finally. He's like hot, cold, sweet, sour, crunchy, soft. It's those contrasts that our brain finds. And Gail goes, joy. That's where they find joy. Oh, my God. Who knew Last Chance Kitchen was going to be a Sandra Bullock movie?
I'm sorry, the answer is pleasure. Pleasure is the answer, Gail. Sorry. So Sylvia's making a champagne hollandaise, and then she's also using a brioche bun, and then Tom is gonna make a chopino sandwich because he's doing that annoying thing where he's like, "Well, I lost a chopino, so I'm gonna have a chopino redemption." Because every chef does that, and then they go home. You know, it's always that one chef who's like, "Well, my specialty is pasta, and I mess up the pasta, so I'm gonna make the pasta again to show that I can make pasta." But the truth is, they can't make pasta, and they always go home. So I was like, "Okay, he's gonna go home now."
Yeah, and they all start making fun of him when he says he's going to do a chipino. And Mara's like, no, come on. And Padma goes, no. And so, so Victoria's like, but you must use a protein. And Tom's like, well, I realize it's not smart. I saw a tenderloin and that falls apart. So combined with tomato and sourdough, I will do that now. I switched to beef. I changed my mind from chipino. And Gail's like, wow, he's rubbing that bread with garlic. Is anybody else getting turned on?
Actually, it's funny that you mentioned that, because if you had toasted the bread first, a lot more of the garlic and tomato would have come off of it. That's so true. So, when are you and Gail going to make out underneath the rafters? I think you guys are she's totally into you, Max.
That's why Gail waits to rub herself with garlic until she's out of the bath. Right, Gail?
So Sylvia, she decides she doesn't want to overcomplicate her sandwich, so she nixes the caviar that was going to go on it. And then Tom starts saying this thing about, he's like, I'm just going to make a straightforward sandwich. No fuss, just very honest food. Very honest food. Like, what does that mean, honest food?
Yeah, give me some damn liar food, because that looks stupid. So Padma's like, wow, he better cut that really thin. 1 minute, chefs. 1 minute. Time's up. Just kidding. It was really like 1 second. You're done. Put your knives down. Put your sandwiches down, stupids. So Sylvia made a crab sandwich with andouille champagne hollandaise spread.
Right. And then she also put some crab meat on the outside. And then Max is like, well, I have to say, I'm practically gobsmacked. I've never seen a bun put inside out with the crispy sides on the top. I've never seen anything like this. Which I thought...
I have. This restaurant here makes peanut butter and jelly sandwiches like that. It's so good. Like,
don't they do that for the kids? Isn't that like a fairly standard thing for grilled cheeses with kids?
Yeah, I get it off the kids' menu.
Yeah. So there. Ha, Max.
Take that, Max.
Wow, Max. The picnic master's never seen bread served upside down. Crazy.
Thanks a lot, Maxophalian. Okay. All right. So who's next?
I think it's Tom. Tom's going to serve us an honest sandwich, whatever the hell that means. So
it's like it's a beef fillet sandwich with spicy tomato marmalade on it. And I think it looks very pretty. And Tom's like, so my question is for Sylvia. Out of everything in the pantry, why would you choose these materials? And she's like, because I wanted to use champagne and to make hollandaise, because I think this is good hollandaise reason. And he's like, oh, okay. Well, sandwiches need to be big, and watercress and he's like, I'm going to ask the same thing to Tom. So Tom with hair, go ahead. He's like, sandwiches need to be big, and watercress and beef is genius to me. Genius.
Yeah, he really is going to bat for the combination of beef and watercress right now. So then Padma says, Sylvia, question. Why did you use the insides on the outsides? That's why Gail's dress looks so horrific all the time. It looks like her intestinal tract. Am I right? Things on the insides but stay on the inside.
So she says it's to not get the brioche soggy. So now the judges are talking, and Padman's like, for me, one was better. And Max is like, well, they were both messy, but I suppose we did have a napkin. You know how napkins were invented? At one point, the Earl of Sandwich didn't want to get up from his card game, but he had sandwich all over his face, and he ended up needing something to wipe with, so he used a card, and they said those should be softer. So they made soft cards, and that became the napkin.
Wow. Are you saying that the way you use a napkin is to hold it to your face and move it around? I never knew that. No one ever told me.
That's how Gail uses subway tokens.
No wonder why she's always stuck at the turnstile. Talking about style that's turned, Gail. So it's like, okay, are we all in agreement about our decision? We leave Gail here and go back to the studios? Great.
Tom is like, okay, well, guess I've got a monologue. It's about sandwiches. Sandwiches are things that are shared between families. They're also things that kids eat at school for lunchtime because it's you send a kid to school with a fork one day, and chances he'll go on a stabbing rampage. So basically, don't give forks or knives to your children. Okay? Thanks for listening. Padma? Padma? Padma?
Wow, this is really hard for me, but Sylvia, please pack your knives and leave this country. Thank you so much. Tom, you get to stay because we feel like you've got tortured issues with your brother. Congratulations.
Oh, man, I wanted Sylvia to stay. I really wanted to see how far a potato person could go. I just wanted to see the fancy potato work in the finale. I'm sad. And I liked her. She seemed like a sweetheart.
This was a tough episode because we lost Begonia and Sylvia. And I'm not happy about it. And we got Dale back on top of everything else.
Yeah, we got fucking Dale back. Ugh, gross.
Not what I want.
I'm still liking almost everyone, but as what happens in Top Chef is happening. And that is where the fun people to imitate start getting sent home one by one. And then at the end, we're going to be left with fucking Dale, Ali, and...
Charbel.
Gosh. Yeah, probably. Something like that. Just people we don't like to make fun of at all. And then we're going to, the last couple of episodes of Top Chef, we're going to be sobbing. Please don't make us recap this. We can't take any more.
I feel like Sarah's going to go surprisingly far. I just get that feeling.
I'm rooting for Sara to win this whole thing, you know? Now, because my other favorites have all gone. I wanted Begonia. I wanted, what's her buns, Luciana.
I wanted Begonia. I liked Sylvia, Sara. Those have been my top three, I think. And I'm sure there's some other people, but I just don't remember them right now.
I love Buddha, too. I always love to see a Buddha. Like Victoire, I haven't gotten a sense of Victoire's full style yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm liking her so far. Yeah, I still like most of the people on here, so it should be interesting. But great season so far. I love it.
Yeah, so good. Well, thanks everyone for listening to this big episode. And we're going to catch you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.
Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors.
Ain't no thing like Allison King.
Ashley Savoni, she don't take no baloney.
Dana C. Dana Do. She's not just a Sheila, she's a Daniela. Itchels. Aaron McNicholas. She don't miss no trickolas. Jamie. She has no last namey.
Hava Nagila Weber.
Sip some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
She's always supplying. It's Kelly Ryan.
Kristen the Piston Anderson.
You're never alone with Lacey Monteleone.
Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino. Megan Berg. You can't have a burger without the Berg.
The Bay Area Betches. Betches.
And our super premium sponsors.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall.
She's not harsh, she's Jill Hirsch.
My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo. We love him madly, it's Kyle Pod Shadley.
Let's go on a bender with Lauren Fender. We want to hang with Liz Lang. The incredible edible Matthews sisters. Nancy Cease and Desisto.
Give him hell, Miss Noel.
She's the queen bee, it's Sarah Lemke.
Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.
Hey Prime members, you can listen to Watch What Crappens ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the Amazon Music app today. Or you can listen ad-free with Wondery Plus in Apple Podcasts. Before you go, tell us about yourself by completing a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.